Hey guys, today we're back with another gun review. And today on the channel, we're going to be reviewing the Smith & Wesson M&P 5.7. Stay tuned for this one. Alright guys, we're back. Once again today we're going to be reviewing the Smith & Wesson M&P 5.7. As you can see, this firearm is unloaded, magazine's unloaded, this one here is unloaded. First off, before we get with the review, we'll talk about everything that comes with it from factory. You do get the firearm, two 22 round magazines, your safety flare, a speed loader that we'll talk about here in a second, kind of loads pretty interestingly. You get your lock, your user manual, and that's about it. So we'll go ahead and push the box over to the side, nothing really much to talk about. Your speed loader here, the way that this actually loads is that you put this on top of your magazine, you put your round in that little circle there, and whenever you get it fully seated in there, you click, push it in. At first I was like, that's kind of an interesting speed loader, but whenever you get about, I'd say about 5 of rounds into these magazines, it actually gets kind of hard to load, even if you're trying to load it like an AR-15, so you probably do need that speed loader. So, getting on with the actual review. This is a 5-inch, 5.7 times 28 caliber pistol by Smith & Wesson. This is the no safety model. As you can see here, it has a cutout for a safety, but it did not come with the safety selector on it, so I like that more, to be honest with you, than if it did have a safety on it. You have a threaded barrel up front here. You take the threads off, and it's actually a the shroud of the barrel is on the inside of this. The barrel is actually on the inside of the shroud. There we go. So what you're actually threading onto is not the physical barrel. This is not a striker fire gun, but an internal hammered gun. So the pull on it is pretty much a single action pull. Very, very, very good trigger. Very audible as well. Let's see her on let up. Pretty quick. So I like that about it. One more time here. We can show it for you all. There you go. And bang. Not bad. We'll get the actual alignment or the Wheeler trigger gauge out here in a second, and we will measure the trigger on it. But gun is very easy to rack. Whenever you're shooting this gun, it actually about feels like a 22 in your hand whenever you shoot it in reference to recoil. We'll talk about that here in a second whenever I cut to the actual shooting proportion of it. We're going to be doing things a little bit different today. You have a 3-dot, white dot sight picture set up. You have cutouts here in the slide to reduce some of the weight. You have slide serrations up here in front if you want to press check or just fully rack. You can actually rack from the front. This thing racks so easy. You also have the slide serrations here in the back, so you can do an over rack or a pinch and rack, either way you want to go with it. Your slide release is kind of pretty close to the actual slide, so it is kind of hard to get, but if you can get any type of purchase on that, see, as you can see, I was kind of having a little bit of problem right there, but if you can get any type of purchase at all on it, it's pretty easy to release. You also have it here on the right side as well. If you are left-handed, it's not as pronounced as the left-hand side slide release though, so just let you all know that. Have a Picatinny rail here if you want to attach any lasers or lights or anything like that on it. The grip here is really not like any other grip I've ever felt in my life, where this is actually the first 5.7 I've ever shot and ever reviewed. So somewhat interesting and different for me. I'm not saying that the grip doesn't feel good, but it is very, very long and very slim. So it's just something that you kind of, need to get used to. I like how it feels though. I'm not saying I don't, but it's just something a little different. This gun here though, 22 round magazine, so 22 plus 1, so you have 23 rounds altogether. The 5.7 cartridge, we're probably not going to get into the debate if it is a viable for self-defense or what its actual use for is. I'm not one that is a fan of 5.7. Like I said, this is the first time I ever had one, and oh yeah, optics code as well. Forgot to tell you all about that. But anyway, I'm not really a fan of the 5.7, mainly because, back in the day whenever I first got into shooting, something that I couldn't buy ammunition for at Walmart, I really never did get into. Not saying that I didn't get into other calibers later on, but 5.7 is just something I never did really grow up shooting on or anything like that. Looking into the velocities and everything, it's interesting round. They actually made it for armor penetration back in the late 80s, early 90s, if I'm not mistaken. And that's what they originally wanted it to do, is be an armor penetrating round that can be used in a P90 or PS90, whichever one you want to call it, so it's the immersion or the military version. But that's what it was originally made for. This gun right here with the 5-inch barrel, your muzzle velocity at the or muzzle energy is about 288 foot-pound of energy. Whenever you get out to 25 yards, you're looking at 240 foot-pound of energy. And when you get out to the 100-yard range, you're right at 110 foot-pound of energy. Or no, I'm sorry, 140 foot-pound of energy, which is about 40 foot-pound of energy more than a 22 long rifle at muzzle, just so, you know, it kind of gives you a little bit of a idea of how much muzzle energy this is. Most 9mm, you putting out anywhere between 350 to 400 foot-pound of energy, so decent amount of difference there. But as this cartridge goes, it starts losing velocity very quickly. It is a fast-moving cartridge out of the muzzle and was pretty flat shooting. And like I was saying, if you really wanted to get on that and shoot as fast as you could, it has little to no muzzle rise at all. The way this barrel works is very interesting. It actually locks out just like an AR-15, and whenever it goes back in the battery, you can see it twist there a tad bit to go chamber that round. It's an interesting gun, how they built this all around. I was kind of interested in it, to say the least. And then whenever Center Target got it in stock, I was like, hey, you know, I need to pick this up for review, and they sent it along. So without further ado, a very special thank you to Center Target Firearms and Range in London, Kentucky for letting me review this firearm. And if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be able to review this for y'all today either. They also included the ammunition with this, so a very special thank you for that as well. I'll be leaving a link in the description below to their YouTube channel and to their website, so you can swing by and check them out. And if you're in the area of London, Kentucky, swing by and check them out as well. They'll have this gun and many other guns, new and used, in stock at all times, and as many accessories as you would like to look from. So once again, a very special thank you to Center Target. So we will roll into the actual range review of, or the shooting portion of this review. So stay tuned. We had a fair to feed. Really interesting recoil. Actually feels like it has little to none. This is actually the first 5.7 I've ever shot, so pretty interesting recoil. See, I can see it swinging just a tad bit, but I can't even hear it hitting at all. Okay, we had to, there we go. And just so you all know, before we actually film this video, well, let's see here if I can get it hung up. There we go. Looks like we've had a hang up in the magazine somehow or another. There we go. I think that's dislodged them for now. I don't know. I'll put that one back up. So the way that I loaded these, you can either load them like you do a AR-15 like I'm doing right now, or you can use the speed loader, which is how I actually loaded them to begin with, is with a speed loader. Let's take that and put these up. We still got, looks like a little 16 or over in it right now. It's right on the money where it's where the sights are is exactly where it's hitting. So I like it from that aspect. I'm not sure what was going on with that magazine to begin with. For some reason though, whenever we was shooting it right then, I don't know, it looked like some of the rounds had hung up in the mag. Could have been just the nose of the bullet being too far into the actual front end of the magazine. I don't know, but as you've seen as well as I did, every single one of them bullets just fell out of it. So that's somewhat interesting. We got 4 rounds left. That's in battery. All right, guys, we're back. What did you all think about that? It was kind of interesting for me the way that the rounds actually hung up in one magazine, and where I had to pretty much dump them out, slap it, if I do recall correctly, and get it to where I could load more ammo back into it. How I loaded both of these mags was really just like with this, magazine loader. I loaded every one of these rounds with this magazine loader, and it just I don't know what happened there. From my understanding, though, just technologically speaking, I would say a round got too far forward, and that spring pressure was holding that bullet in here. And there is a little bit of a tip right here, and it could have got lodged in that, because that was about around the point where it was in the magazine to whenever I looked, and it was stuck in there. So that's something. I did clean this gun before I shot it. Took all the lubricant and everything off of it from factory, and then put Wilson Combat oil on it. So everything you're seeing here is exactly what I seen. That was the first shots I fired through it. Something else as well, though, just to keep in mind, is that I only could fire a limited amount of ammunition through this. 5.7 for a box of it at Center Target was right at $50 for 50 rounds, if I'm not mistaken. Some places online you can find it for about $40 for 50 rounds. Really, really good deals, about $35 for 50 rounds. But guys, it's a very, very expensive pistol to shoot, and probably just as much as a 44 Magnum, if you can find any of that in stock anyway. So we have a very limited amount of ammunition for this gun. I can't say that, if there's a break-in period for it or not, or if that's something that will quit after you shoot 50 rounds or 500 rounds through it, or 1,000 rounds through it. I don't know. But I'm just showing you all what I got with this pistol right out of the box. Fresh cleaning, and just a tad bit of Wilson Combat oil on it. So let's go ahead and check and see what the actual trigger pull is on this firearm. Let's go ahead and get this fired up. Might have to pull it back just a tad bit here. All right. 3.8 ounces. Let me get this slid in here where I can get another reading. £4 1 ounce. We'll do one more. And 3 pound 9 ounces. So not bad at all. Like I said, great trigger on it. I'm guessing that's that internal hammer mechanism that they've got in there working for it, because this doesn't feel like any other. This is closer to a I'd say 1911 trigger than a actual striker fired. But guys, overall though, with what I can see here with it, I like the gun. I'm just not much of a fan of the 5.7 round. So that being said, if you are a fan of the 5.7 round, let me know what you all think in the comment section below, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible, because I'm interested to see what a lot of you all say. Like I said, I'm just never been a fan of the 5.7 round, but this is the first time I've shot one, and it was fun shooting it. I just don't really know how to compare it to another 5.7. I can only compare it to other firearms I've shot. And, the grip feels fine if you can get over how long it is. The width of it feels great to me. Trigger feels amazing on it. Very smooth shooting gun and very light recoiling. I mean, it was an interesting gun to shoot. And if I had plenty of 5.7, I'd have shot this all day long, but with limited amount of ammunition we had, this is all I could do. So guys, I hope that you all enjoyed the video. If you're looking for this gun, I would say go ahead and pick it up, just because it's a very interesting design. I'd like to know in the comment section below if y'all have this gun. Did you see any of the failures or any of the ammo mess ups that we had here? If so, let me know. That way that other people that view this video can see that as well. But after I shot that second magazine through it, we loaded a few up for the shorts, and I never had any failures out of it then. So it might just be a few hiccups whenever you first get the gun. Might not be. I don't know. That falls back once again that I don't really have much 5.7 to shoot through this, and as expensive as it is, I can't really afford to get much more than what we shot anyway, and that was actually given to us from Center Target. So guys, once again, special thank you to Center Target Firearms Range in London, Kentucky for lending me this firearm to review. I'll leave a link in the description below to the YouTube and their website, and a very special thank you to you all. We have now surpassed 50,000 subscribers, so that is very, very great, and hopefully we'll have another meltdown before too long, because I know you all love them. So guys, thank y'all for viewing as always. Like and subscribe for more gun reviews, and I'll see y'all in the next video.